Yeah, so we need someone to at least vote for, if we want to keep it Doctor
Who,
vote class, but also obviously any of the other 4 options are available too for people to decide where they want us to go. But until the next time, Pete, King Ben, and Donna.
What just happened, man?
We're back on the podcast again, but there's only 2 of us now.
Where do they go?
I don't know. But we're back, and clearly the universe egg was happy with what we did.
We haven't been disintegrated.
Well, we've been put back, but we've been put back to podcast, so I don't know if this is just our lives now.
Maybe it is, yeah. This is just how it is.
Is it going to be like that Clara dream where there's just no... Oh, with the Zygon thing.
There's no windows.
There's nothing outside.
Just shut up, stop talking, cease and desist, there's a good girl. Go, 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 go.
Don't know if I'm sad about it, you know?
I'm not sad about it.
But it is that time, Pete, because we are going to attack an episode which you've alluded to in the past is going to have some emotional beats.
I'm going to be sad.
Beats to it, yes.
I'm going to be sad.
We are saying goodbye to Clara.
Woo! Oh man, that was great.
I jest. I'm not that cruelly happy. But
I was literally just saying that I'm not sad that she's gone, but I am sad.
Yes.
I'm sad. Okay, I'm not sad that she's gone. I'm sad at the effect of her goneness has had on people.
Yes.
There you go.
Jenna Coleman.
Jenna Coleman.
Yeah,
Jenna Coleman.
Is a fantastic actress,
She's
and
wonderful.
I don't think at any point during this podcast series have we ever disputed her acting ability.
No, she's great.
But Clara is a problematic
Person.
Yes. And we may even tackle some more of those problematic moments in their... Can you really... I'm alluding to certain things later on, but it's technically not really their last, but their last.
True.
What's set up as their last.
Yeah.
So we open, though, with a bit of a jolly moment with the Doctor and Clara. They burst through the TARDIS door.
They do.
And I guess Clara was out punching trees or
whatever. Stepping on plants or something.
Because the Doctor was about to get married to some kind of giant plant.
Giant plant person,
They're all covered in what looks like pollen.
And stuff, And the Doctor's like, that's the second greatest garden in the universe, and we can't go back.
You did something. But they are interrupted by a phone call.
Yeah. Which they're instantly suspicious of.
Yes. And the Doctor's like, no, go on, Clara.
Answer the phone.
He does this quite a lot, because he did this with Amy when Churchill phoned.
Yeah. I suppose he's showing off, isn't he, in a little bit. I think Capaldi was hoping against hope that it was going to be like Churchill or something, so that he could just be like, yeah.
Either that, or maybe he just doesn't like taking phone calls, which I can relate
100%. Every time my phone goes off, it gives me fucking
don't love it.
I hate it.
I envy quite a lot about what you do as a job, but one element of my job is I'm part of like a hunt group.
Oh,
and the phone will just go off and it will just come through on my computer.
No.
And it can be anyone.
Don't like it.
Without outing what I do, you know what I do, so you know it could be anyone from either side of the process. Not great. Don't love that.
Nope.
But yeah, so she answers it, and it's Rigsy. Rigsy is back. He's also grown up a bit, hasn't he? And he's saying, Clara, I need your help.
Yep.
I have a tattoo. To which she's like, fuck off, bitch.
Mate, I can't help you with that.
This is for emergencies only.
Yeah, she's trying really hard to like not let the Doctor know who's calling, isn't she?
Well, doesn't she say outright, oh, hello, Rigsy?
I think she does, yeah. And then when he says...
To which the Doctor's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
You've given out our fucking phone number.
Yeah. When did I give you permission to do that? Yeah. And he's saying like, no, it is an emergency because I didn't get a tattoo. But
I don't remember this whole day. It's on the back of my neck.
And it's
counting down.
And that's where we get our title drop.
That's when we get our title drop.
And this episode is by Sarah Dollard.
Nice one, Sarah.
Thank you for the sad.
Thank you so much for killing my heart. That does make a lot of sense, though. No offense to male writers out there, but generally I find that female writers kill your heart just a little bit better.
Although, like, let's not undercut certain saddest moments in Doctor Who. Like,
absolutely not. I get it, but like, yeah, I do find that if it's particularly heart wrenching, you're like, okay.
I do like the dialogue that we get immediately after the title sequence.
Are we straight into Rigsy's room?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make that?
Did you make that human? It's
beautiful.
She's wonderful. Yeah. He's completely enamored with this little,
which I love.
Baby.
It's
Doesn't he even say she's perfect? She's brilliant.
Yeah, because doesn't someone say that she's lovely, and then he's like, she's even better than that.
Yeah, I think Rigsy said, yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah.
Or Clara, and then I think it's Clara says she's lovely. And goes, no, she's better than that. She's brilliant.
And then is immediately tonal broken, and I'm going to go away from the mic where he's like, "Why the fuck did you get?"
Yeah. Why did you get a tattoo with a baby when you've got a baby?
And clearly, not great for a. Is she newborn?
I think it's relatively. Yeah.
And they were like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?"
Shout. Because they do hush him, doesn't he? And then he's like, "Why are you getting a tattoo when you got a baby?" No, he doesn't even say tattoo. He says tattoo, the word, in the most wonderful way. Tattoo.
Oh,
it's just the way he pronounces it. I can't do words today. Pronounces it.
Is it a Scottish thing?
I don't know, but tattoo. And I'm like, beautiful. Nice. Love it.
And I love that he's like already so done with the situation. He's like, oh, come on, just show me this tattoo thing. And while he's doing it, he's picked up something and he's just like fiddling.
Yeah.
He's not even really looking,
isn't it? Or like a book.
Yeah, and he's not really looking at what's going on.
Then has a little quick glance and it's changed numbers, and he's like, "Oh,
that's not boring.
That's not boring." Yeah.
And says like, "Rigsy, come in with me.
Bring the new human."
Now, this is not. I'm getting better at this. So hopefully, a certain listener will be like, "Oh, that's nice. Like, Alex is finally picking up on these parental moments where they're not really done properly." They're leaving a newborn baby alone because the partner's not around.
I assumed the partner was in the other room.
Okay.
I don't know.
We hope
that the partner's in the other room. Yeah.
Because the doctor does initially say, "Bring the new human," but then it very quickly interjects with,
"No,
himself,
don't bring the new human.
I'll just get distracted." And there's going to be a lot of, as there always is with this podcast series. Hopefully my notes will come to my rescue. No, they don't. So, but I think at this point, Rigsy's also regaling that he has no, like you say, no memory of what happened during that day. He left at dawn. He didn't go to work, came back in the wee hours or whatever.
Yeah.
His phone's also broken.
Which I have a question.
Yes.
Was he not using his phone to call the TARDIS?
Well, I say it's not broken beyond repair, but the screen's cracked.
Cool.
So they go into the TARDIS and it's the scan.
Oh yeah.
Where we get some great 12th Doctor bluntness. Saying things, bluntness that sounds awful.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to say if you want to keep still, if you want to keep all your appendages. If you don't, we'll put them in a bag.
Yeah,
take them with you at the end.
Bag for you or something. Yeah. And to give him credit, the actor playing Rigsy is brilliant. Like he stays completely still, but his face just changes to like,
oh fuck,
shit. Yeah.
I do also like it's very similar kind of comedic beat to what happens with Mickey, where he almost forgets about Rigsy. Admittedly, not for as long, but there is a point where he's like, "Can I move?" And he's like, "Oh yeah,
of course you can move." Yeah. Because Clara's trying to talk to Rigsy, and he's like, not moving.
And they do the scan, and it's really sad. Like that point where the doctor's like going through that. There's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff, and and then he wanders off around the other side of the console and picks up the cue cards.
Starts flicking through them.
And Clara immediately knows that the only reason why he's picking those up is because things ain't great.
Yeah, because Rigsy says to him, "What's he doing?"
And
she goes,
he's finding a way to be kind.
Making an effort to be kind.
Yeah.
There's no kind way of saying you're about to die. And I'm like,
beautiful.
And Rigsy initially is like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and Clara's on the attack of like, we're going to fix this.
Yeah.
And the Doctor initially looks like there is no way to fix it.
Yeah.
And then there is a moment where he's like, yeah, fine.
You know what? Fine, we'll fix it.
Because I may not know how to stop it, but I know maybe where to
I know
find
what we can do. Yeah, I know
people,
how
possibly.
we can find some people that can sort this out.
I can't. Maps. Yes, they go to the British Museum.
British Library? I don't know
Citation
about the
needed?
museum.
Don't know. Okay. They go to a big old building.
Big, lovely, sexy London building.
Yes.
Yep.
And
For maps.
And as they're looking for maps, through maps, we get another Clara moment where she's just spouting off facts that an English teacher probably wouldn't know.
Of course.
That apparently, and I haven't fact checked this.
Neither have I.
I'm sure it's fine. That apparently a lot of map illustrators would add in trap streets, and what a trap street is that they were put into the work deliberately, so if they appeared in other artists' work, they'd know they'd been plagiarized.
Yes, because it's a completely made up street.
Yes.
Yep.
And the Doctor's speculating that trap streets may actually be real streets, but just streets that the human eye doesn't usually
Doesn't
perceive.
necessarily see. Yeah.
Yes. So now,
Doesn't he say that there's some sort of like, possibly some sort of perception filter over them, so you just kind of glance past them, your eyes don't focus on them properly.
yes.
Yeah.
So with all the things that the Doctor's built, which admittedly most of them are shit, like it's just
Do not diss the 2Ds or the suns.
goes ding when there's stuff. So surely there's a better way than just getting your companion to lean the fuck out of the door and like look down precariously.
Part of me wants to think that a lot of that was Clara's idea.
Well, given how she reacts at a certain moment during this episode, possibly, because yeah.
Yeah, 'cause she slidles out a little bit too far.
Well, I think there's a moment where the TARDIS has a bit of a hiccup
Yeah.
and she gets kind of flung
Yeeted
forward.
forwards, yeah.
No. For me, thanks.
No.
I would not even. I know it's meant to be alluding to that she's becoming more and more like the Doctor, and moments of like danger and death are just humorous and could be laughed off.
Yeah. But no.
No. And even Riggsy and the Doctor's like,
Well, yeah.
yeah, no, this has been a real kind of like anxiety point for me as well.
Riggsy says something.
She enjoyed that way too much.
That's it, yeah, and the Doctor just kind of looks at him.
Yeah, like, yeah,
I fucking know.
I know.
But also, like this is like one instant of all time where I'm not on Capaldi's side.
Okay, do elaborate.
Fucking stop her. You know what I mean? I know they've got this whole
stop her from being like lurched out, or just stop her from doing. Oh, okay.
stop her from dangling.
Oh, okay.
There's
Why
much
is there no
easier way.
rope?
Why is there no rope?
There should be a rope.
Yeah.
I know that
I'm
you're.
sure that Doctor's tied himself to the console before.
Yes, well,
Maybe not yet, but
not tied himself, but he did use a piece of string because we're in the Runaway Bride when they're going down the motorway.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of string to make the TARDIS go faster or whatever.
So he knows he can anchor a being. Why has he let her do that? I know that the whole point of this whole series is this weird tumultuous relationship that they've got going on.
Yeah.
He's still in charge. He is still.
He feels like he's made no decisions in this moment.
He's made none. She has said, "Give me your sunnies. I'm going down."
Maybe there was a deleted scene where he comes out with a bit of kit and she's already halfway out the door.
Maybe.
Like,
Yeah,
but I built this.
I built this just for you.
Um,
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So she's using the bullshit specs to.
Shut up.
I never will. To take
And
like.
I will never stop defending them.
That is fair. To take like a picture of the London landscape, and the idea behind this is if there are trap streets, that there will be points on that map that they then get from that will be spots on it.
Spots that her eyes glanced over is what they say.
Presumably, there's a point where they have to go back and redo this because there's a whole point where she's like looking. Presumably just at sky when she's like dangling out and looking towards the camera, not at the city.
Yes.
And there's also a point where she comes back up and she's like laughing and looking into the TARDIS.
Yeah, I'm assuming that I've done it multiple times.
Yeah, but
I also don't understand why they had to go and get the maps. Because if they were then just going to dangle her over and create their own map, what's the point in the maps?
But each map may not be true to the last. And I suppose if this is a perception thing that is exclusive to the perceiver,
I don't know.
Then perhaps, I don't know. Maybe
I just feel like getting the
they had an afternoon in the green screen room, and they like, we have the TARDIS, we have these stock shots of the London skyline. Let's just use it. Yeah. So they have a map, and they split up in their own initiatives and go around the street, and we get a bit of the Doctor monologuing, saying that if you're out walking about and there's something that stands out in London, ignore it. But if there's something that's so unremarkable, then it might be something. And also, if you're counting and you
randomly lose count,
then it could also be something. But also, it's like if you're trying to learn a sentence or something and it just won't go in.
Yeah.
Now, if that's a thing, then this fucking apartment is built on the trams. Multiple processors for work. Don't fucking know what to do, but they keep on telling me. Yeah, so we get all of that, and Clara's walking past like the shop window and keeps on losing count. I think the Doctor walks past a kid,
does its shoelaces up.
Yeah, and it says like 82. Remember 82.
Yeah, and the kid just goes, 82. And the mum doesn't say a fucking word to this weird old man that's just tied his kid's shoelaces.
No, and I know it can't be like Torchwood, where Yanto does something similar. It's like, piss off, you perv.
Yeah.
I know we can't get that in BBC's Doctor Who, but
no, but we could have at least
some interjection would be.
Yeah, like, let's go away from the man.
Yeah, but no. I know Capaldi's a nice Scottish man. It's fine, but she doesn't know that because she's in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And they all kind of converge together and assume that they're very close to this. And doesn't the Doctor say something along the lines of, like, we need to take this up a level, Clara, go and get all my most annoying things?
Yeah.
I'm sad that we never get to... I know we see and we hear a little bit of what's in there, like symbols or some kind of instruments. I'm really sad that we never get, like, to see what is in that box.
Yep.
Because I don't know also whether this is a box that he's put together or whether this is a box that Clara's put together.
Clara's put this together.
You reckon Clara?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Well, it's a shame that it's a shame there wasn't a bit of dialogue where it was like, Clara, go and get my box of my most favourite things, and she's like,
your most annoying things.
Your most annoying things.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, she's interrupted as she's leaving the TARDIS by a scan that's being completed on Riggsy's phone.
Yeah.
Because they did deduce earlier in the episode that there was also no trace of any like texts or anything that had happened during that blank spot.
Yeah.
And she comes back with the phone and said, wasn't he like called or something earlier in the day?
Yeah, he got a phone call
to come.
Or a text to come to somewhere?
Something like that, yeah. But her holding out the phone prompts him to have some kind of vision, because he goes to take it and it slips,
he drops it.
And
that sparks a vision.
Intercuts with him dropping it again.
Yeah.
And there is a dead lady.
A dead lady.
In the vision. And two alien-ish creatures. I was going to go back and check this before. Is the first alien just a slightly less human-looking human?
He's like a werewolf-esque vibe. He's got like more hair than his human counterpart does, and a slightly animalistic face.
I wasn't sure if they're... Again, I went really off tangent I should have just checked, but I wasn't sure if they were doing a commentary on like this poor guy had just been like disfigured or something, and he was actually human, and he was just like, they'd taken him in, and he was like, oh, this is great, but I'm not an alien.
No, he's like, when he's human, he's got slightly less hair, and when he's animalistic, he's got like teeth and darker eyes and more hair and claws and stuff.
There's a full-on fish boy.
Is he fish or is he reptile?
I was getting fish.
Oh,
I think he had like
chameleon
fins.
vibe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Either way, not human.
No.
Very not human.
Maybe it's best that he's not a fish, because Jack Harkness would have shot him in the head.
Absolutely.
Now, I had a... Yes. So I understand the reason why one of our favourite Zygon boys from previous episodes may not have gone to the Trap Street, because his whole argument was that he just wanted to live in society and be accepted and to live his life. But putting this element into the very same season,
feels really sad.
Yeah.
That he couldn't have. Maybe he didn't know that
maybe
that it existed.
I think that's the only workaround, because it seems odd that more of them wouldn't have gone there.
But also, I suppose we find out that it's mostly enemies of the Doctor. Enemy species of the Doctor.
Zygons have been enemies.
But that individual wasn't. He just wanted to live on his own.
No, well, yeah, but...
I don't know.
I think doesn't the Doctor do a scan later in the episode and says that there's like 27 species, 15 potential violent ones or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
So I don't think they are all...
They're not all just...
They're not all...
I don't know.
Previous Doctor Who costumes from the cabinet. But we'll talk about those in a bit.
But yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like, though, he was purely used... He wasn't purely used as a tuggy heartstrings character, but he served his purpose very well by being a self-casualty of war.
But not even specifically him, just it seems odd that more of the Zygons hadn't gone there.
Yeah.
But so Rigsy, with this vision, moves along.
Fully remembers where this traptree is.
Reminding me of a certain segment that we will revisit, as we always do at the end of the episode, and it may be my best one.
Oh, okay.
It's so unbelievably unconsequential, but it's brilliant.
Okay.
But we'll get there.
I wait.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, he's kind of like looking past this wall, and you see into this kind of alley, and you can already see the buildings are several decades earlier in terms of their aesthetic. They're very kind of Tudor-esque.
Very Tudor, yeah.
And they make their way down the street, and there's almost like a jump scare where they're walking along and suddenly their feet are stuck
like
to the cobblestone.
To the pavement,
and the same two aliens come out, and Rigsy identifies them as being the same because he can see through the perception
thingy. He gets flickers of the perception filter going down, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, there's something else that we've missed, that there's a nod to previous content. When the Doctor's doing a scan of Rigsy, he deduces why Rigsy can't remember.
Oh, that his prefrontal cortex has been flooded with something.
Redcon.
That's it!
It is Redcon, which of course is a wonderful in-universe nod to Torchwood's little wiping memory shindig.
Oh, about that. Yeah. Been retconned, that was it. Yeah.
And the werewolf... he does...
He has a name. Rump. That's it. I can't remember the fish boy's name.
I can't remember the fish boy, no. I only remember Rump because of Rump Steak, but...
But yeah.
Rump wanders up and gives a good sniff to the Doctor and is like, he's not human.
Yeah.
And Fish Boy's very anxiously asking, what's their business there? What's the need for sanctuary?
The reason for asylum. Why are you here?
And I think the Doctor says something which then prompts a certain character to show themselves. I can't remember what they say.
Aren't they? They instantly recognise Rigsy, don't they? And they're like, "Why is he back?"
No, not yet, because Rigsy's done some bullshit. Just before they go down the alleyway,
he's put his stupid hood up.
Yeah, his incredible hood, because it creates an unnatural shade. This is not how hoods work.
No,
he's not wearing a Nazgul hood.
I can't remember what...
Yeah, I can't, but let's just get to it. Some cunt says something, and then our least favourite immortal walks around the corner.
Me just pops up.
Yeah. I'd say...
That's going to bug me now, how she gets there, but never mind.
As much as I don't like her overall, she's less irritating in this.
Yes.
And when we finally get to see her, at least with the Doctor, she's a lot better as a character. But it's very quickly revealed that she is the mayor of this town.
Mammy.
She's pretty much completely forgotten Clara, other than the entries that she's put in her books.
Oh yeah, I have fond memories of you.
You're just as beautiful from the pictures.
Yeah.
I do love that she's being flanked by two police officers, and it's very quickly revealed that the police officers are just Jadoons.
Just Jadoons, yeah.
They're full of... It's no longer commentary. They are police, and they're shit police.
Yep.
I can't remember what then makes... Oh, I think Me's just they're fine.
Yeah. There's we have an agreement on the street.
And Fishboy releases them from the cobblestones.
Yeah.
But then I think that's the reveal when the hood comes down.
Yeah. Because you need to, because they're like, you've done something to my friend, or something to my friend, something has happened to my friend on your street. You need to fix it, kind of vibe.
Well, it's more that me saying like, because when she sees him and she's like, oh shit, like you have committed a crime.
Yeah.
She also the doctor's saying, I can't remember what the name of the spirit is, but like a shade something or other. I haven't written it down, which is bad because that's a really big fucking thing.
Chronologue
shade.
Fuck.
You got a big old spooky cunt. And
Yeah, the number on his neck is a chronologue, isn't it?
yeah, but
From a something shade. Fuck.
But
Quantum shade.
Quantum.
It's a quantum shade.
Fuck, I love you.
Oh, mate. I was frantically going through the episode in my head.
No, you're brilliant.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the doctor hasn't made the connection yet and says there's a quantum shade here. But once then me sees that Riggsy is back, she then like removes the scarf that she's got around her neck and she's got some weird
Tattoos of something.
yeah, it's like the weird, I think I've still got a jumper that's like this, but you know the kind of classic emo jumper where it has like the grey,
Yes.
they're not quite spikes, but they're like branches.
Yeah, like almost
that-
tribally, yes.
yeah,
Kind of vibe.
yeah, I got that feeling from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But she's not wearing an Adidas hoodie. These are moving tattoos,
Yeah.
and it's clear that that this spirit, which I've already forgotten the name of, is
Quantum shade.
Thank you.
Yep.
Is controlled by me.
By me, yeah.
Yeah.
And she said to him, didn't she? I gave him enough time to go home, say goodbye to his
But he's
family.
like, "Cunt, you retconned the bastard."
He didn't know he had to say
No.
goodbye.
And I think she still takes them into the street.
They make some sort of deal, don't they? They're like, if we can prove, they're like, our friend wouldn't do that. He's not a murderer. Something must have gone wrong. If we can prove this, will you let him go? And she's like, yeah, bitch, of course.
But I think she's also saying something along the lines of, "It's not me you need to convince.
It's not me you need to convince, it's them. Yeah. Because it's like, we have a really strict set of rules on this street to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
You have to convince them, not me.
I do. Well, I know. Actually, we'll get to that when we see a bit more of this. But when we're going through the street, I love what we learn about the kind of glowworms that are in the lanterns. That they create like a perception.
Yeah. They're
field.
essentially like the memory worms, aren't they? Like a branch off of them.
And we see a couple of people flickering.
Isn't there an ood wrapping up a Cyberman's head or something?
I think he's got like a full-on buzzsaw or something.
Yeah,
Because
like when they're human, it
there's
looks
the
like he's
wrapping, but
his
then
head, but yeah.
I mean, I know it could be a Cyberman from a different planet or a different time. Yeah, fine. But in terms of like the way that the episodes have gone, I thought it was only the one Cyberman that didn't blow up, and the rest of them just blew up in the sky. Because it's the same Cyberman
Yeah.
design. It's not like an older one. This
No,
is
yeah.
the Iron Man style one.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just a leftover prop in it.
Yeah, of course it is. I hate seeing the Ood again when they've got the Perspex ball.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they do it again in Jodie's era, and it's. I feel like I wanted for the Ood for that to be done.
Yes.
When-
They've had the slavery
Yeah,
arc now.
they
they're
are now
free.
finally free,
Unless these are the ones that have escaped slavery.
or still technically. Well, I mean, obviously that one
technically
has,
enslaved,
but
yeah.
but never made it back to the Ood sphere.
Yeah.
Admittedly, there's one point where I'm fine with it, and it's nephew.
Yes.
Because there's different reasons for that, but just seeing an Ood out and about, not free,
Not free is quite sad.
upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also a Sontaran.
Yes. We see a Sontaran. Do we see a Silurian?
It looks kind of like a Silurian, but it's got weird red eyes.
Yeah.
I don't think it is a Silurian. It might just be a random prop or old classic Who thing.
Yeah.
But it's got giant red eyes. I think those are the only ones that we see.
I think so.
Yeah. I do like the idea that this Sontaran is just having a bevy.
Yeah.
Because this guy's got a full-on tankard in
Yeah,
front.
I'm good.
Sontar Santa ale. And we get to see someone looking at them from around a corner, don't we?
We do indeed.
Yes. But we do also see outright that although they present themselves as human front-facing, that they
also got
have
a head in the back of
they
their
have
head.
a head
A
on
face
the
in
back,
the back of their head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And that actress is, I can't remember her name, but she plays the new Black Panther, Shuri.
ooh,
It's the same actress.
oh, nice. I like her in Black Panther.
Yeah, she's good.
Yes. So, fuck, I don't know where we're going. So,
Do we go straight to where the woman is?
I feel like there's a bit more. Well, me's like demonstrating the perception filtering,
Yeah.
like pinches the doctor so it goes away. And
Yeah.
okay, I think we might be going.
think we do.
Yeah, so me takes them to I guess her house or whatever setup they've got,
Yeah.
and we see that the person who is thought to be dead is in like some kind of
stasis
stasis
chamber
pod of some kind.
thing.
Um,
But she needs to go back to her home planet to be buried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a Janus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the doctor doesn't he immediately, because they were talking about her child, and he's like, "Oh, was it a girl?"
Is it a girl?
Yeah. Because in their species, the girls have the ability to see forward and backwards in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And me says no, it's just
no,
a boy.
it's just a boy. And I think Riggsy's also having moments where people are like whispering murderer to him and things like that. I know they get separated at some point.
I think they just split up.
They just
to
split
be
up.
good cop, bad cop.
Well,
'Cause
that
they've only
yeah,
got
because they're going
60 minutes left.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we get a few intercuts because
Because me says something like, I have no desire to kill your friend. So if you can get rid of it, if you can prove he's innocent, I can remove the chronologue and he'll be fine.
oh, there was also a bit of dialogue that because Clara's speculating that it wasn't Riggsy and it was one of the other aliens there that are attempting to like cause a ruckus.
yeah.
And then we get a bit of dialogue that shows that maybe couldn't be the case because her ability made, I guess, not fearful, but like retrospective, because it showed you all of your losses and
Yeah.
things like that. You just had no. It's
Everyone's
very
like-
very quick bit of dialogue, so I don't.
Yeah, I think the vibe was that no one could bring themselves to kill her.
Yeah.
I think people liked her as well at that point. I think they were saying that she's just, no one would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so there is a split off point, and is this where Clara does a thing
Yes.
or asks to have a thing?
Yeah, because I think Doctor's speaking to Fish Boy.
Yeah.
Clara speaks to Rump. And Rump, she asks Rump about the chronologue, doesn't she?
Yes, because it's fairly. We need to talk about this because this is the context that she has and
This is the
ultimately
context.
ignores.
Yeah. So he says,
Oh wait, we've missed a thing.
have we missed a thing?
We've missed a demonstration of the Raven,
Shit, we have.
where someone's frantically knocking on the door, and me goes to answer it, and the doctor rather sarcastically is like, "Yeah, go and answer the door. It's not like we got like a timer,
Yeah.
fucking anything."
Yeah.
And it appears that someone has been marked for death, much like Riggsy has, for stealing medical supplies.
Stealing medicine for his wife. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a sad exchange that
It's really sad.
because we do get that's the end. This is before Rum because we get that initial drip, which then
yeah.
provokes sort of a
This is what gives Clara the idea, isn't
yes.
it? Yeah. It's these two old couple. We don't find out what alien they are, do we?
No.
It's just these two old couple.
No, which again I suppose is the formula that we have talked about now in the past, where sometimes the audience will not emphasize as much if they are not human presenting individuals.
Yeah.
And it's clear that he's stolen these medical supplies to save his wife.
Yeah.
She's begging to take the chronologue.
Take the punishment for him.
And
yeah.
he's like, "No, my dear,
I did this to save you, you silly thing."
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
and Fish Boy or someone begs
It's
him
the
to,
fish boy. He
to
says,
stay with her.
He doesn't.
No, he
runs. And then he goes, why do they always run?
yeah.
It's like, oh, God.
And
Pro
you-
boy.
yeah, comes sailing out, and you see him darting, doing a bit of a Scooby Doo down the.
Oh, yeah, because wait, oh, no, Me's really cold at one point, isn't it?
Yeah, because she's like, I could
remove the corner lock, but
but
I
no,
won't.
I can't.
Yeah, I could remove the corner lock, but I won't because he's broken the rules.
Now, I'm going to have to talk about this very delicately because it may seem like initially I'm leaning towards certain things, which I probably shouldn't be. But this quite nicely reminded me of a series that I watched. I think I was early secondary school, and the only reason why I watched it was because there was a moment in the trailer which was fucking amazing. A series called The 100.
Don't know it.
Basic premise is that humanity have left Earth and they're in a space station, but resources are dwindling, and they send down a load of weirdly attractive teens to Earth to essentially see if it's inhabitable. There's a moment in this trailer where they're hunting a deer, and the deer the deer's facing away from them. It looks up and it turns around, and it's got like a second head that's mutated onto the side of its normal head. And I just thought that's so fucking visually cool.
That is awesome.
I want to, and first couple of series are really good. But in that series, back on the space station, the reason why they get sent to Earth is part of their justice process. Even if you steal a loaf of bread or whatever, you get floated, which essentially self-explanatory. You get floated into space.
Oh my God. Okay.
But because they needed to work out if they could continue to survive and go down to Earth, the death process was slightly changed to these kids being sent down to Earth because most of the government thought they were going to fucking die anyway. So it's the same spiel.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting way of keeping. I mean, it's essentially the death penalty, isn't it? But for any kind of crime.
Yeah.
But like, again, I can't. I'm obviously not for the death penalty, but it makes clearly, even within this not. I can't say the word. This fantasy environment, clearly for the most part, it has kept the peace because no one wants that fate.
No one wants to die.
No one's going to act up because the penalty is so severe.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into a long commentary on what our justice system needs to be or anything like that. I don't think it needs to be that.
No, yeah.
But there are perhaps certain greater punishments that should be in place for crimes of certain ilks.
Yes. Okay.
But that was just the link that I made.
Yeah, no, fair.
That clearly has been integrated here and kept the peace.
Yeah.
But even then, when people are desperate, they'll still do it.
Try their luck, yeah.
But perhaps lesser because of what the consequence is, which in this case is, I don't know what, like visually what's happening.
A crow flying into your chest somehow,
and then you sick up
black smoke,
which I'm guessing. I mean, you see it, you hear it from this guy as well. It's a guttural scream.
Yeah, it's fucking painful.
That's being let out. But yeah, I'm not too sure anatomically what's happening there.
I don't know. I don't even know if you need to know.
It's just visually
it's
striking.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think that some of the Doctor's greatest villains are in this street and everyone's cowering at what's happening here.
Yeah.
It really kind of lends weight to just how terrifying this is.
Yeah.
And then, so I think, so that's then the split up, and then Clara goes off to Rump and asks,
what did she mean?
What does she mean about the give it to me?
I'll take it, yeah.
You can pass the chronolock on, but you can't cheat death completely.
Yeah, the death's locked in.
Yeah.
But you can't cheat it, you can pass it on. Yeah.
To which she completely fucking doesn't understand what that means.
She misses that completely.
And goes up to Rigsy and is having a bit of a... Yeah?
She's also been given complete immunity, hasn't she?
Yes.
Because the doctors said...
Yes, because...
You must keep her safe, and
me
has said...
Yeah.
I guarantee my personal protection of Clara.
Yeah. To which she takes that so unbelievably literally and goes up to Rigsy and says, like, yeah, just give me the...
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
And he's like, absolutely fucking not. To which she then says, what happens if your little girl doesn't have her dad,
Yeah.
which is a good point.
Um,
Also,
And-
poor old Clara.
yeah, so he does then eventually give in, and
Says
she...
yes. And they're like, how do we do this? And she just turns him around and touches it, and it ends up on her neck.
I don't know if it feels like almost like a meta commentary of how easy it is
What?
within the episode, where she's like, I don't know, I just thought it'd be like, I say yes, you say yes.
Yeah,
done
yeah,
deal,
that
bish,
was
bash, bosh. I tap your neck like a barcode.
Beep.
And so she then has the chronology.
Yeah.
They then go back to Mee's place.
They meet the girl first,
Yes.
don't they? I think
Yes.
Dr. Rigsy and Clara meet up in the street.
But the doctor's speculating that perhaps Mee's up to...
Meets up to something's
Something.
not quite adding up.
these chickens are up to something. And
Yeah. And then they're getting spied on again by the kid.
wait, the kid that they then go and find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then because
Um,
then Clara goes, "Oh look, that looks like her son.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to him."
To which they... So,
Yeah, they follow him home.
yeah. And I may be being very kind of, again, dumb here, but what's the main fear for them when it's then revealed that they're actually a girl? Within the context of the town, because it seemed like her mother was revered almost. So
I'm not sure.
what's her fear?
It's the vibe that they're going to just be used for their power. It's a safer. I know that she says it's safer that I'm a boy
Okay.
because they've just escaped slavery, haven't they?
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
she says it's safer that I'm a boy.
And it's not provoked by her mum dying, because that was a fairly recent thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't think people would have known about her
No,
before then.
I can't remember. There must have been something, but I'm sure it's established that once they'd escaped slavery, it was safer for the girl to pretend to be a boy.
Okay.
I'm assuming because of being used for their powers, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I think they then request that she uses her power to see whether
See what they
Me's...
can see. Yeah.
But they can't, because it's involving the Doctor, and they can't see the Doctor because of his whole timey-wimey...
What's ahead or behind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
don't...
then we do get something, don't we? Because her back head does then say something about she needed to bring you here. It needed to be a mystery because you could never resist a mystery.
To which they then go back to the place and they deduce that she's not dead,
Yeah.
that she's actually just being...
Somehow deduced that this is a medical device keeping her in status.
Yeah. And they look for a way to try and release her. And Riggsy's like, oh, what about a key? And the Doctor's like, yeah, that'd be real fucking great if we had a key, you bastard, but we don't. And there's no
Yeah.
keyhole. And he's like, no, cunt, there is.
Yeah.
And
And then the Doctor's like,
oh, beans.
now I get it.
Yeah.
This is a trap for me. I
'cause
know exactly what
we
key
could
that
go and
means.
look for her key, but this is also usable by my
Use
key.
this one.
And so what? Is the Doctor's key just like a weird skeleton key that works on any...
It's just a
key?
Yale key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somehow, because I mean, I know we don't need to see every single scene, and it can be implied, but I don't remember me like taking like a plaster cast to the inside of the TARDIS.
No, but she's obviously been in touch with some people that have a TARDIS.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a TARDIS is a universal, like every TARDIS has the same lock system, maybe, or they can get, I don't know. She's been in touch with some very clever beans
Yes.
that would probably have figured out a way to get a key.
I suppose you could also maybe argue that she'd just spoken around her little town, because a lot of these people have been in contact with the Doctor.
Yeah.
You didn't see that bit in the Sontaran stratagem after the Sontarans took the TARDIS. They were like, now make a plaster cast of that fucking keyhole.
We'll never know. We might need it someday.
Our mothership may blow up, but the plaster cast will survive. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think it's quite lovely. Usually the Doctor, I feel like in these moments would see the needs of the many outweighing the needs of the few, but it's just like, no, she needs her
She
mum.
needs her mum.
and
Just does it.
just goes for it. And the doctor kind of gets locked in for a moment.
Yeah.
And has a
bracelet bangle thing.
Yes.
Yeah. One-handed handcuff.
And I think that's when
The stasis chamber kind of falls apart, and the mum's like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
and I think that's where Me comes in and says she'll be fine in a little bit because
Yeah.
I guess she's
Give her some time. She's been in some stasis. Yeah.
yeah. And it's I can't remember what comes first, but she's saying like it's about the doctor's bracelet, that it's not so much a way of keeping him imprisoned, it's a teleport bracelet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because of the plans now being enacted, she's saying like, Rigsy, come here, I'll take the chronologue off.
Yep.
And
Has she asked the doctor for his dial yet?
possibly because
I can't remember.
I think
I don't think that happens after
no
what happens.
no, because I think there's a very
So-
short bit of dialogue.
Yeah, so
with
I'm
that.
pretty sure what's happened is that he's like, "Where are you taking me?"
Mm.
And she's
And-
like, "I don't know. I'm just.
Mm.
I've made a deal. This is the deal. I need your confession dial." And he hands it over, and she goes, "What is it?" And he goes, "I've got no idea.
Mm.
I don't know what it is." I think that bit happens first.
I think he says in your language it's like the final confession.
Yeah, it's my last will and testament.
Um,
Final confession vibe. Yeah.
but then when she's saying I'll take the chronologue of Rigsy, it's then revealed to everyone that he's passed it on to Clara.
Yeah.
To which Clara's acting like this is the most triumphant shit that she could have
it's like,
possibly
the Doctor
done.
101, I've done this.
Yeah.
I've hoodwinked you. And the Doctor, oh my God, he's like, "No, Clara, you didn't. Oh my God, fuck." And like, looks at the back of her neck.
See the change in Me's expression as well.
Me's dropped. And she's
No
like, I didn't
longer-
know she'd do anything so stupid.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, motherfucker." The Doctor is devastated.
Yeah.
And Clara's confused.
And it transpires that, much like Rump did fucking
Did fucking tell you.
say in the episode,
You can even see that final moment where Clara goes, "Oh,
he did say those things that
shit."
he said.
He said exactly those things that he said, and I just didn't fucking listen.
And yes, it would appear that
Pass the death on, but you can't cheat it.
and when you pass it on, it then it cuts Me out of the
Oh, because she'd made a specific. That was it. She'd made a specific contract with the Shade.
Yeah.
For this, because it was nothing to do with Rigsy and murder. It was to do with getting the Doctor here,
yeah.
and that was her plan to get him here. So that was the only reason that this was going to be able to be removed.
Yep.
And Clara sidled her out of that deal.
Yep. And Rigsy's even saying like, I'll take it back.
I'll take it back. Give me.
Apparently, it's a one-way system with this. There is no way to
There's
just
no
take
way
it
to
back
take
again.
back, yeah.
I think I've got some quotes from this, but
Don't.
let's have a look.
There's that beautiful, like, she's saying, "Come on, we can fix this," and the Doctor's like, he just does that awful smile, and he says, "No, we can't fix this."
But he does say, "But you can," and
But
then
you
goes
can.
over to Me, and this is where we start to get the railing off of,
Yeah.
"You fix this, you fix this
You
now."
fix this right now. If you don't, I will rain hell upon you until the end of time.
Oh,
And then Clara's like, "Calm down now," and he's like, "No."
you know the stories, you know who I am, and then she's like, "The Doctor wouldn't do this. The Doctor,
Doctor is no longer here. You
You're
are stuck with me."
Oh, the sauce. And I will end you and everything that you love.
I will
Yeah.
end this whole street.
Yeah.
I'll give me a sec. I'll bring the Daleks. Give me oh no, I'll bring the Cybermen. Give me a sec. I'll even bring the Daleks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to which Clara's just
Clara's
begging
now
him to
begging
stop.
him to stop, and like she's devastated, but she knows that this is happening. Yeah.
Doesn't she say something to the effect of, "This is my fault," which he rebuttals, "I don't care."
I don't care. Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else that's said up until the except there's a bit of calm in that where she then leads into the, "Now you're going to be alone
Don't.
and you're very bad at that."
but promise me don't be a warrior, be a doctor.
Yeah.
And then, oh God, and she says something like, "I'm okay with this. I'll be all right." And he says, "What about me?" Oh man. And he just,
Isn't her only answer to that? I guess we're just.
if there was something I could do about that, I would.
I guess we're just going to have to be brave. It's the bit that got me was where his only interjection is that he just says Clara, and does the hug, and you can see that he's just about to fall apart in that moment.
And she holds his face at one point.
Yeah, and he kisses her hand,
and it's like he doesn't take his eyes away from her.
No.
That entire time he's just watching her. Like, because she's talking to me at one point, and she was like, "Can you do anything about this?" And she's like, "I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it." So she's like, "Well, then you can shut the fuck up. I'm busy." And the whole time the doctor's just watching her. And like she said to Rigsy, "Don't you feel guilty about this?" For like 1 minute.
because he's trying to
This is my
interject, being like, "This is
decision."
my fault."
Yeah. At that point, I was like, "Rigsy, calm the fuck down. I know that it's very sweet, but this is a moment that is happening right now."
Yeah,
Oh, and I just can't. I cannot get over Capaldi's acting
yeah.
at all.
This is why he is the best.
He's the best, and coupled with there's that beautiful low piano chord where it's like, dung, and it's just beautiful,
Yeah.
and it's horrible, and it's so fucking sad.
And Clara's talking about, if Danny can do it, why can't I? To die well.
Oh God, yeah, no, and she's saying, "I did this. Why can't I be like you?" And he said, "This is my fault. I had a duty of care." And she said, "I never asked you to. I should." And then he says, You shouldn't have to ask. That's my job."
Yeah.
And it's awful.
This is all being intercutted with the raven breaking free from its little cage, and
Stupid cage.
we missed the bit where there's a little comedic beat where the doctor and everyone run past the cage earlier in the episode.
Oh, and he goes,
It's
"Not yet, you."
We still got 10 minutes. The doctor says, first of all, don't run.
Oh, don't run. Stay with me.
It's like, nah.
And she's like, "No, you stay here.
Yeah.
I'll be all right." Oh my God.
And again, we're getting those swooping shots of the raven. You see people like running and screaming.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Clara goes out into the street. Not instantly followed by him, but
No, but
fucking close.
he's in the doorway.
Yeah.
What was Clara whispering to herself?
Let me be brave.
Let me be brave.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
It's all right, Pete.
It's just like, yeah, man, it's just so good. I hate Clara, but I love her at the same time, man. I just being that. I think again, because we're getting deep.
Yes.
Death terrifies me. I'm terrified of dying. I couldn't even fathom being able to walk towards the thing that is going to kill me.
Yeah.
Not cry. Keep my friends safe, and still say like, "Let me be brave" at the same time.
Yeah.
That it's just so powerful.
It's to make connections, if it's not too wrong to do so, to real life situations. First World fucking War trench charges. Where surely everyone in those trenches
Knew they were going to die. Yep.
And a lot of people were just going over there just to soak up bullets.
Yeah. Barely reach the top and be dead. Yeah.
Immense amount of bravery. And
So brave.
Like you say, I mean, death in the Doctor Who universe has that an added bit of terror, which I'm not going to name drop him, but there's a certain individual that I'm quite friendly with who's part of a performing element of my life, and they're quite diehard Christian.
All right.
And they did initially take umbrage with the stuff in Torchwood, where they would openly say there is nothing. It just goes like this horrible, terrifying blackness where you're still aware and almost alive, but you just have no concept of up or down, and there's voices in the darkness and things like that. But I was able to kind of rebuttal it with, especially for him, as a Christian, isn't that just the most terrifying thing, to have all this faith and the possibility of there being actually nothing?
Yeah.
That is it. There is no heaven or hell.
Yeah.
There is just nothing.
It's terrifying.
But yeah, Clara doesn't run, but just does go out on her own.
Yeah, she stands there. She
On her own
stands strong
terms.
and brave.
We have a Twitter.
I knew that was coming.
It had to happen at some point. Yes, we do. And it is a place where you can put your comments and anything that you really like, to be honest. But one thing that we do need you to do is to vote on where we go once Capaldi's era has come to its close.
When I will actually cry.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be with you.
I'm going to be teary.
There were certain bits of upcoming episodes because I watched all the way up to River Song's Christmas.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, as a side point, I actually really didn't enjoy River Song's Christmas special up until the end. Because
to be fair, yeah.
it's shit.
The rest of it is a bit
It's a
crap.
bit shit.
Yeah, it's
the end bit that's
Yeah.
like none of that matters because this is
This is
fucking
perfect.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that it exists in that episode.
Yeah.
Now, there's a side point also that I know we haven't yet got to this, and it is a bit spoilery, but I'm scared that I won't mention it when we get to it.
All right.
There's no reason to battering around the bush. We'll see Clara again, and she'll be working in an American diner.
Yep.
First of all, I really enjoyed this version of Clara, weirdly, that's just in the American diner. And as a concept for a companion, I'd love that if the Doctor just landed in Nevada or wherever, and someone in the town has seen weird stuff. They haven't yet made the connections to aliens, but they're just a bit more savvy.
Yeah.
I'd love that if he just like picked up someone who worked at a diner.
How cool would that be?
The energy of that
Yeah.
would be
Absolutely.
insane.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the same kind of energy as I don't know if you've seen the film, but Paul,
I love Paul.
the diner lady in
Yeah,
that.
the
If it was
diner
the same
lady,
kind of energy as her.
She'd be amazing. Yes.
Yeah, but side point.
Side point.
Yes, we are back in the episode,
She's fallen
and
where she stood.
but we don't get the audible scream, do we? We just get it. We get the music,
That
the beautiful
swelling
Murray
music. And
Murray Gold.
The multiple perspectives.
Do you think it's a bit
angles.
much? The amount that we get of that.
I think we get too many angles.
Yeah, I think it would be fine if it was 2 or 3, but it feels like they've just moved the tripod back
Yeah,
like
doink,
a punch.
doink, doink, doink. Yeah. I don't even... Yeah, 2 or 3
Yeah.
would have been perfect, I think. Especially because it rewinds back to the
Yeah.
opening of
The mouth.
the mouth and the scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it went on a little too long. But, yeah, and then she breathes out the smoke and just falls, and it's like... He kind of starts towards her, but doesn't quite run.
Fantastic death pose.
Really great death pose.
And it's something that, and weirdly, it wasn't something that I think I needed to think about at all. But in a show that you and I were quite recently in, American Idiot, in the second act, where it's in the hospital and the amazing, is it Amazing Girl?
Extraordinary Girl.
Extraordinary Girl is played. When I was laying there on the stretcher and I saw a lot of other people either sitting quite kind of stoically or with their legs out straight,
Yeah.
I had like my leg across my other leg I know I wasn't meant to be dead, but in a hospital, like,
Yeah, you're not gonna
you've
be
been
just
injured.
pencil straight.
No, you're going to
No.
be like in a pose that's weirdly uncomfortable, but in a way to kind of subdue the pain.
Yeah.
Which is way too in depth for what I was doing in the show.
No, but it shows that you were thinking about your part
Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah.
So that's the vibe.
But the same kind of feeling I got from that, where her legs aren't like perfectly out straight. She hasn't penciled it on the ground. She's
Nah.
leg over
Because
leg.
she's literally crumpled, so
Yeah.
everything would have bent. So yeah.
Um,
I have a question about the next one, about how you might the next scene.
okay. I thought you were going to say the next show. And I was
No,
like,
no,
I don't
no.
remember Cogsworth dying.
No. When we next see the Doctor, he's coming in and closing a door. Has he just left her on the street, or has he put her into a bedroom?
We'd like to think.
Because I think, again, I can't remember, but I think you can just about see the interior of that room, and it looks like it's not outside. So I think we have completely not seen a scene where he's picked her up,
Oh, man.
brought her into a bedroom,
Yeah.
walked her past everybody, put
Yeah.
her down into a bedroom,
But-
and shut the door.
I argue that a certain scene that we get much later in Capaldi's run, where a companion picks up the Doctor and
Yeah?
might be robbed if saw something similar here.
Very true. Yeah, but I want to think, and I think that you can see the interior of a room that he's brought her in.
That's good. Yeah,
'Cause
that's better that he hasn't.
I can't believe that he'd just leave her on the street. I know he's angry.
And I know sometimes he doesn't have the right cues and social cues in certain moments, but I don't think
he'd have left her there.
No. Yeah, so he's back in the room.
And he's fucked off.
Yeah, this is maybe the angriest that we've ever seen him, and it's not because he's like blowing up, but you can see the restraint, and he's trying to be good for Clara.
He's trying to fulfill his promise, which he then literally says, "I know what I've just told Clara, but I don't know if I can do it."
Yeah, and
She wasn't protecting me; she was protecting you. That was it.
yes,
Yeah.
and you'll find the universe is a very small place when I'm angry with you.
It's just that his voice is lower than his normal talking volume,
Yeah.
but you can hear every fucking word.
There's some amazing vocal acting from Capaldi in the next episode.
Oh, yeah,
There's a certain scene where he's on the floor.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My God. Anyway, we can talk about that.
Yes.
Oh my God, we can talk about that.
Yes.
But yeah,
I feel like Heaven Sent may be quite a long
that's going to be a long podcast.
episode. Yeah.
But yeah, so he's come back and Me's ready to teleport him.
Yes. Does he say something like you should just know you should just stay out of my way?
Stay out of my way.
Yeah.
Because you'll find the universe is a very small place when I'm angry with you. Yeah. And she tried to say I'm sorry, didn't she? And he was like, "Don't you fucking dare." Nah. And then I think, is that it?
I think that's it.
Until the end of the credits.
Wait.
At the very end of the credits, when we
Wait.
get
Fuck.
what?
Is there a bit at the end of...
There's a bit at the end of the credits.
What?
There's a bit at the end of the credits, dude.
Oh my God. Pete, you're going to have to solo this because I don't know shit.
Did you not see it?
No.
Where Riggsy's
Fucking BBC iPlayer just sent me to the next episode, the cunt.
painted the TARDIS.
Oh no, I've seen that scene.
That's at the end of the credits. Riggsy's graffitied the TARDIS. He's done a portrait of Clara
Yes, and the flowers.
and the flowers everywhere.
Because we do see that later on.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I'd seen that scene. Having done the watch through I only did today,
Yeah, it probably
forgotten
did
about that scene, but see the TARDIS like that and just thought, oh, it's just the
Someone's
TARDIS.
graffitied the TARDIS. Yeah.
TARDIS dude, what the TARDIS do?
Yeah, TARDIS do this.
Oh, okay, no, that is beautiful, and I am sad that I didn't see that in my
Yeah,
rewatch.
it's really
but fucking
sweet.
BBC iPlayer being bastards.
Especially because obviously, like, the Doctor's commented on Riggsy's paintings before about how it saved the world and can't wait what you do next to see what you do next. And the next time he sees it, he doesn't know why it's there.
But yes, the Doctor teleports away. Bracelet hits the floor,
That's it.
and that's it.
Yeah.
The episode is over.
It's over and so with Clara for now.
Until our penultimate and final next time. But as much as we are sad, we will wipe the tears away with our Morris dancing handkerchiefs.
Oh, I'm frantic now.
And we will enter into our favourite segment of the week, which of course is our daft cunt of the week.
What do they think they're doing?
Your ham-fisted bun-bender.
He's an unimaginative plodder.
Apart from losing the master and the missile, you're doing very well, Brigadier.
I helped you devise a less idiotic plan of attack of all the idiotic suggestions.
You're an idiot.
You will bring a terrible retribution upon yourselves if you persist.
Shut up, you silly old fool.
You would dare to harm the great wizard Queequeg-Quad?
Charming.
Yeah, they're round the twist, if you ask me.
Pete, before I drop possibly the best daft cunt that ever has been, ever, do you have a rebuttal?
I don't know. I can't think of one.
Mine may not be that great.
I can't.
I feel like I built it up.
You have built it up quite a bit.
I built it up.
I don't know. I don't know if any of them are particularly cunty.
Okay.
Obviously, me's cunty, but we know that anyway. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't give you one.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
It is a very emotionally driven episode, so it's fair if you weren't.
I wasn't
going into it with that.
Yeah, I didn't think about
No, that's fair.
picking anybody.
That's fair. Okay.
Who's yours?
Get this shit. So, the moment where Riggsy has the flashback to the mother lying dead on the floor and the aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
And he kind of sidles off towards the alleyway. there's a street shot behind the Doctor and Clara.
Yeah.
I remember it distinctly because I had to use it to track what was going on, but there's a red car that goes behind them.
Okay.
And there's an extra that walks past, and there's extras wearing a grey jacket that has, I can't remember, I think it's like dark grey and then light grey, black hair.
Okay.
Just walking past. We then get the pan shot of down the alleyway, and then it's back to Clara and the Doctor, and the same extra walks past.
No! Oh.
So it's obviously not the extra's fault because extra do what extra
that's
do.
Not his fault.
But the dumb people were like, let's go again.
Just walk by again, mate. We won't even give you a new coat. Just
No,
go again.
just the same fucking guy.
Oh, no.
It was so breaking for me.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah. I'm admittedly, they probably shot it. Maybe it was 2 different takes that they'd done and that they spliced together, because I imagine that they probably didn't do the take and then do cut. They must have just done the Doctor's shot there and then the next one maybe together.
Maybe, yeah.
Fuck knows. But yeah, that was my...
That's fair. But that does make me feel better about not picking one. Because that's quite
it's niche.
An insignificant and niche
Yes, yeah.
daft cunt of the
Yeah,
week.
it's
So I do
more
feel
the
better for
making
not
of
picking
Doctor Who as opposed to...
yeah, the actual character.
Talking about that, how sad are you that I think it's from Victory of the Daleks, that there is no Confidential or anything like that?
I loved the Confidential.
I loved Confidential. Have you been watching any of the...
Are they not...
Did you not know?
No.
Ever since Shooty's first no, even before that, the specials, there's a whole line of Confidential-esque, and they do it the same way.
I didn't
I mean,
know.
admittedly, there's less like weird bits where they cut back to classic Who for 15 minutes with a classic like pop piece of music when it's just various.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that much, but I've been watching old Confidential and it's quite egregious at times. If you're watching, I know most people didn't because it was a weekly thing. If you watch it as a series, it's like, oh, there's another 15 minutes of classic Who clips now with a bit of pop music.
Brilliant.
But yeah, no, it's beautiful behind the scenes stuff, and you get some really nice kind of, like for example, for our most recent episode, at least in our current run, with the theatre.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, you could probably deduce from what we saw of it that they didn't, in fact, go to where they say it was set.
Yeah.
But it was just, I think it was a theatre that was a part of like a Cardiff pier.
Oh,
and they also shot that during Hurricane Jocelyn.
Oh,
so like those palm trees were fucking all
flying
over the place. But yeah, and the fact that they built that theatre set, the actual interior, they built that. That's in a sound studio. That's not an actual theatre. That they built that fucking from scratch.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is really cool. It's beautiful.
Bad Wolf Studios now has some mad spaces, like the stuff for I was going to say Doom, but that's not right. The landmine episode. Boom.
Boom, boom. I think it's called Boom.
Yeah, it is. Was shot on a similar kind of screen that the Mandalorian's been shot on, like the curved.
The curved green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
And there were reused props in that. Like there was a bit of debris that was part of the Meeps spacecraft that they just like smashed up and stuff. But yeah, Confidential's back, man.
Oh man,
it's
I didn't know.
Back, and it's every episode that we've had so far has its own 20 to 30 minute Confidential.
I have some catching up to do.
Yeah. Fun little snippets where we get to go to Russell's house and you get to see his writing room and
cute.
all his little bits and bats. But yeah, the last thing I want to touch on, and again, it's dating the episode, but it feels relevant given what we've just watched. Murray Gold, I think we talked about this before, but it's still, even with this second season, doesn't feel like he's being allowed to cook.
Nah, yeah, I know.
Did you pick up on the weird musical choices for our most recent episode?
No.
So I'm sorry, we've opened the fucking door. It's happening. But when Shooty, when the Doctor's building his bullshit stick thing that he's going to use to fishhook his way back to May or whatever, Amy's theme's playing very briefly. Yeah. And then when the Doctor's saying goodbye to the Fourth Wall fans, the 11th Doctor's theme's playing.
the fuck?
I know. And I don't know, that might make more sense for them because it was a bit of nostalgia and it fell
maybe.
into that.
Yeah.
And it built up the emotion and stuff. But again, it just...
Strange.
There are so many Murray Gold pieces, whether they've been released or not, for multiple episodes across his time on Doctor Who, where I would listen to non-stop. Like my favourite still being the one of the ones from School Reunion, which wasn't released. It was a Scasis Paradigm theme tune, where if anything, Murray Gold's allowed to cook too much, where it's just like the most dramatic typing. But yeah, it just doesn't feel like he's being allowed to cook as much as he used to. And I know it's a balance you've got to get, because arguably a lot of our favourite and most heartfelt Doctor Who moments would be nothing without the music that's used. And it's great that we should always strive for not just relying on music. It should also be good acting, good plot,
absolutely,
all that stuff. But
music
Doctor Who's
so
always
important.
been, at least in the reboot era, it's always been the music. The fact that they do it as part of like, they've done whole evening performances, haven't they? Where they've televised that and stuff.
Like Doctor Who at the Proms and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's big important part.
But it just doesn't feel like he's
not quite got there yet.
No.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure if the series itself has got back to the golden days kind of feel. And for me.
And I think we've talked about, I think we did talk about this, but we talked about it off air from the special.
Yeah.
That one of the things I don't think we'll ever get back is the grubby budget.
No. Yeah, that's gone.
It's part of what made it so beautiful is the fact that it was running on strings and wishes. It was,
yeah.
And now it's got such a big budget.
Absolutely.
It doesn't
feel the same.
It doesn't feel the same, but I suppose it may never do that.
No, it's going to take some time to feel it differently, but yeah.
But Donna was saying from having watched Lux that it feels closer to that now.
It's getting there, I think.
Like she was really eager to see what was coming.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, I definitely think it's getting there.
Yeah, but whether or not we'll get there, given how much we've got left.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we'll see.
We shall see.
But so long as you're still happy to, this podcast shall continue, whatever the fate of Doctor Who is after this season 2. But we shall wipe our tears because there may be more.
There is going to be so much
to come.
more. Yep.
But until the next time, Pete and I are blasting off into time and space.
Yeah.
Moisturize me, moisturize me.